Can a Sprinter/cargo van be subject to an FMCSA safety audit and a USDOT inspection? We're going to talk about that on this segment of the Gig Geezer. If this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, if you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, hey, thanks for coming by. And if you would not mind, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome comments in the section below. Well, let's do a little bit of review here. According to the USDOT, which is the United States Department of Transportation, and the FMCSA, which is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, the USDOT number is a unique number for each carrier, and that is those who operate or transport people, 8 people or more, and or goods for interstate commerce. And the FMCSA, which is where you apply for your authority or your MC number, or otherwise known as your motor carrier number, that is the one that is issued that allows carriers to transport goods or individuals across state lines for pay. And there are various lines of authority. The one that I have is for general cargo. Someone recently asked me about household. No, you don't want to deal with that one because that deals with movers, and that's a rabbit hole you just don't want to go down. What isn't often talked about in at least my experience with having uploaded content and checking out content here on YouTube is that a lot of us haven't really admitted to talking about the deluge of phone calls, text messages, emails, and even sometimes letters that we receive from people trying to solicit our business. That's what it amounts to. And they'll try to scare you into doing business with them using words about compliance and the USDOT and FMCSA. Now, really and truly, you don't have to pay somebody to do a lot of this stuff. It's a matter of you becoming aware of what you need to do and doing it yourself, ultimately. One other thing that I'm going to tell you is that whenever the USDOT and FMCSA have any communication or initiate any communication with you, it is going to be done by letter. They're going to send you a letter and tell you what they want you to know. Okay, it's kind of like with any federal government entity like the IRS. If they're going to initiate any contact with you, any communication, it's all going to be done by letter. And then you may respond by letter, you may respond by phone call, or you may go on, in this case, the FMCSA portal or the USDOT portal, and submit your replies and information or supporting information that will hopefully satisfy their inquiry. Question is probably, have I been audited? Yes and no. I received communication from the FMCSA back in January to initiate a safety audit. And what had happened was, actually, I'd been contacted on a couple occasions in South Carolina, the South Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles Transportation Police, and in each conversation, I made them aware that I operate a Sprinter/cargo van. Ultimately, what I ended up doing was I sent the person who turned out to be my safety auditor, who was designated, who I guess I can't explain it. I can't explain it with the fluency as I would like to on this, but when I went onto the FMCSA portal, the very person whom I spoke to in Blythewood, which is where the South Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles headquarters is located for this state, the same person I spoke to was the person that was designated as my safety auditor. So that's a long way of explaining it. That said, in order for me to prove that I operated a Sprinter/cargo van and that I was not subject to a safety audit and ultimately an annual inspection, I uploaded, or I sent her a copy of my commercial, my certificate of insurance for my commercial insurance. I also sent I showed her evidence of having registration for the van, and it's showing that I got a Sprinter/cargo van. And when I went on the FMCSA to respond formally to them, I uploaded the same information plus a picture of my driver's license, and I had to complete an FMC 150 form, which is a correction form for the mistake that I made back in January 2023 when initially I applied for my authority. Now, here's something that you have to understand. The Sprinter/cargo vans that I operate, and more than likely what you operate, it is for insurance purposes considered a commercial vehicle. However, according to the USDOT, it does not meet their definition of a commercial vehicle. Their definition is a vehicle whose gross vehicle weight is 10,001 pounds or more. So that means most box trucks will fit that definition, and your larger equipment vehicles that you see on the road, they're going to meet that definition, and then they're going to be subject to the USDOT inspection and the safety audit. The safety audit consists of a lot of paperwork plus some mandatory things that you must show proof of having on your vehicle, and that's actually done when you do the inspection. But the safety audit is the paperwork that involves your company and the drivers and the insurance information, among other things. The other thing too is that when you operate a vehicle whose gross vehicle weight is 10,001 pounds and more, you're also supposed to have an electronic logging device which monitors the hours of operation that you put in. So some people have also asked me here on the Gig Geezer channel about, do you need a commercial driver's license to operate a Sprinter/cargo van? No. The commercial driver's license is required if you operate vehicles 26,001 pounds or more. I'll just relate it this way. I don't know if anyone has experienced this, but I'm going to share, at least in my experience, when I've tried to go after certain brokered opportunities, I've had certain brokers to say, well, we can't deal with you because we don't see where you have an inspection. Well, again, Sprinter/cargo vans, because they weigh 10,000 pounds and less, are not subject to a DOT inspection. However, you have some brokers that say that we want you to have an inspection. Well, when those brokers say that, I just hang up. I'll just leave it at that. Now, I mentioned about the electronic logging devices. There are some portals out there, or clearinghouses out there, that gather your information that you submit for brokers. One of them is RMIS, and the other is Go Highway. RMIS, depending if you've tried to be onboarded with certain brokers, and I mentioned in this segment of the Gig Geezer where you will go on there and you'll go on these various onboarding pages for these brokers, and it'll say something like pass, fail, or pass. That particular one is the platform is through RMIS, and it keeps up with your insurance information. It knows whether your authority has been active, the sufficient minimum amount of time, most cases 90 days or more, some of them as much as 1 year. But then there's another one called Go Highway, and I'm just going to put this out there. Go Highway does the same thing, but there's a problem when it comes to Sprinter/cargo vans. Go Highway, you have to have a manual override by each broker with respect to getting an exemption with the electronic logging device. And unfortunately, their system is set up really for people who operate box trucks and larger, and it's not as compatible for vans. And I've lost I've lost earnings opportunities because of Go Highway with the many steps and hoops that you have to go through. That is really the core information I want to get across in this segment of the Gig Geezer. As an update, this week and today being Friday, March 15, 2023. And by the way, if you like the content that's been provided in this segment of the Gig Geezer and any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. In this segment of the Gig Geezer, I noted where I had put together a streak of 5 weeks of having earned $2,000 or more in starting this year, 2024. That streak continued to 7 weeks, and this past work week, which ended March 10, that streak ended. I earned $1,700 and change, somewhere about $1,770 plus for the 5+ days that I put in. This week I'm at $1,600 as of yesterday, Thursday, March 14, 2024. Pretty much the year for me has gone about the same as the year has been rather consistent. It's been, it seems that I'm earning money, but it's the way by which the money is being earned that has made it challenging. But I keep on. So hopefully I've answered some questions about really, can you be subject to an audit and or inspections with your Sprinter/cargo van? If you like the content that's been provided in this segment or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm in Wood Lane. As always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.